right, guys, so I just started the recording. I'm just saying this for the people for the recording. So we just did number 1 together. Sorry that I just started it late. But here's our work that we did. We subtracted 3x from both sides to get rid of our variable first. And we subtracted 23 because plus 23, so subtracted it to get rid of it. And then we divided by our coefficient, which was 9, and that gave us x equals -2. All right, so I want to show y'all, or rather remind y'all how y'all can do this on Desmos. Go to Desmos. Because if something's going to give us the answer, you know, why not? Why not use it? So that we can. So on Desmos, we're going to put both halves of the equation in. I think the first one said 3x plus 5. That gives us our line with the slope of 3 and a wider slope to 5. And then we're going to put in our second equation. I think it was 12x plus 23. And from here, we're looking when they're equal. Well, bam, x equals -2. There's my answer. That's when they intersect. This is when they're equal. So this is solving for x. So quick, that took what, 10 seconds to put the two equations in, see where they intersect, and there was my answer. Okay, so let's make sure we're utilizing those tools. All right, question 2. Let's do this. All right, so here's another one, another solving one. So I'm gonna write VCC out on the side. And if you think, if I'm going too slow for you, please go ahead of me. So I hate fractions, you hate fractions. You know, we don't like fractions. Fractions make things more complicated, right? So I always advise, if you can change these to decimals and they're not repeating decimals, then go for it. But if they're repeating decimals, always just keep it as a fraction. So I'm gonna change mine to decimals. Let me change my color because it's too light for my eyes. So 15 over 4 will give us 3.75. So 3.75x minus 2 equals 7 over 2 is 3.5x. And 13 over 4 is 3.25. Now, that doesn't look as intimidating. The first thing I'll do is get rid of a variable. Which one do y'all want to get rid of?
3.5.
All right, I agree. So I'm going to get positive 3.5x. And Hannah, how would I get rid of it?
You subtract it from 3.5.
Perfect, awesome. So I'm going to subtract 3.5x from the other variable on the other side. So 3.75x minus 3.5x is 4.25.
They already started? What? It's not even
mute yourself. There you go. So 0.25x minus 2 equals, this cancels out. I'm going to bring down the 3.25. All right, all right. So we got rid of our variable. So now we need to get rid of our constant. So what am I getting rid of?
The -2.
Perfect, yes. And how am I going to get rid of this -2?
You just add 2.
Yes, yes. So I'm going to add 2 to both sides. That's going to give me 0.25x. This cancels out. And this will give me 5.25. Sorry, I'm not saying the technical term, what, 25 hundredths? No, I'm going to say 5.25. All right. Then My very last step is to get rid of the coefficient. So how am I going to do that? Awesome. I'm going to divide both sides by 0.25. And that is, I don't know.
5.
Is 21. So 5.25 divided by 0.25 gives me x equals 21. And then I know I'm not just like, oh, that's my answer. I know I'm going to check. I'm not checking Desmos right now, but you are going to check Desmos, you know, whenever you're doing your tests and stuff. Awesome. I'm feeling really good, y'all. This class, look at y'all. This first class is like on it. Any questions so far? All right. Next one. All right, big word problem, right? But that doesn't make it harder. It's just a word problem. Jasmine went to Hurricane Harbor and Six Flags on the same weekend. To get into Hurricane Harbor, it costs $14.99. I'm gonna pause. This is how much it costs to get in. This is my one-time fee, my starting amount. So I know this is talking about my y-intercept. Okay, so this is how I do problems. This is how I think it through. I need to, before I even read the whole thing, I like to annotate it. Plus 250 for each, automatically, each, that word tells me that's the slope. For each ice cream cone. So I'm gonna pause because I just don't like to read the whole paragraph without just writing stuff down. I want to write my equation down for Hurricane Harbor. Can someone who's virtual, can you tell me what equation would you write down for Hurricane Harbor?
1499x plus 250, I think.
Really close, really close. So if it's 250 for each ice cream cone, this tells me this is the one that's going to have the X.
Okay.
250 with the X would represent the ice cream cone. So 250 for each ice cream cone. So that one would represent the X. Thank you, though, for saying it for us. And then if my one-time fee, the one thing I'm going to pay one time is $14.99, that's going to be all by itself. So plus $14.99. So here's my equation for Hurricane Harbor. At Six Flags, it costs $39.99 to get in. So here's my one-time fee. And 50 cents for each, there's my slope, each ice cream cone. All right, someone in person, can you tell me what the equation for Six Flags is?
0.50x plus 39.99.
Perfect. All right, so there's my two equations. Now I can finish my reading. How many ice cream cones would Jasmine have to buy at both Hurricane Harbor and Six Flags to pay the same price for each? So I'm just trying to figure out when they're equal. So I need to solve for X. How many ice cream cones I have to buy. All right, someone virtually, tell me what you would get rid of first.
The 0.50 cents.
All right, and then would I get rid of it?
You subtract.
Perfect. Thank you, Jayla and Hannah. So I'm gonna subtract 50.50x from both sides. 250x minus 0.50x will give me 2x. I'm gonna bring down the plus $14.99 equals, get rid of this. This cancels out. And I'm gonna bring down the $39.99. All right. Someone in person, what would I get rid of next?
The $14.99.
Perfect. And how would I do it?
Subtraction $14.99.
Yes.
On both sides.
Oh my gosh, if I could give y'all like cookies and candy right now, I would. Y'all are on it. So I'm gonna subtract $15.99 from both sides.
Is that 25?
I believe so. My brain has been wired to use a calculator for so long, it takes me a little longer sometimes to do it in my head. Awesome. So we got rid of our constant, so we got to get rid of our coefficient. And to do that, I know I'm going to divide both sides by 2, the number that's multiplied to x. That would give me x equals 12.5. Awesome blossom. Oh my gosh. And I know I would check my answer on Desmos. But for the sake of time, and I want y'all to have time to do stuff, I'm not going to do that. But I do, if you notice, some of my stuff is on my YouTube channel. You can subscribe, and I have some Desmos help videos on there. A little plug. All right, question 4. So we're not solving this one. This is literally just writing the equation. Skylar loves the new CD shop down the street from her house. However, to buy CDs at this shop, you need a membership fee. Membership fee. There's my one-time payment. So I know this is talking about my y-intercept. That costs $12. After you receive a membership, you can purchase CDs for $1.25 each. Ooh, that each word. I know this is talking about slope. Write an equation that represents the total cost, y, for every CD X that Skylar purchases. So y is how much I'm, oh, that is not the money sign. So y is how much money I'm spending, and X is the amount of CDs. So write down what you think the equation would be. So we need our M and our D filled in. Go ahead, take 10 seconds, tell the person closest to you what you think the answer is.
Y equals 25x plus 12.
Awesome. Ali, can you tell me what you got?
So the B is obviously supposed to be 12 because that's the one-time fee we only pay that once. And the M would be like how many times we have to, or no, the unknown amount of times we pay that, but that's for each. So it would be Y equals 1.25x plus 12.
Perfection. So this is my equation for the CD shop. Awesome. Thank you, Ali. All right, question 5. If you have a question, please stop me now, because obviously I don't know why I'm going so fast. My bad. If you have a question, stop me now. Are we all good? We're feeling good. We're feeling good. All right. William and Sharice are competing to earn the most money over the summer break. William started, oh, this word is already telling me this is talking about the y-intercept, how much I start with. Started the break with $150, while Sharice had $50. Okay, so automatically I'm just gonna write William's name down, and I'm gonna write Sharice's name down. William's employer pays him $15 for each, oh, there's that each word, so I know this is talking about slope, hour that he works. While Sharice's job pays her double that of William's job. So this should say write an inequality below that represents how many hours William would have to work to make greater than or equal to the amount Sharice must work. So we need to write an equation for William, and we need to write an equation for Sharice. Someone virtual, tell me what you would write for William.
15x plus 150.
Perfect. 15x plus 150. This is how much he made each hour, and this is how much he started with. Good. Someone in person, tell me Sharice.
Excuse me. 30x plus 50.
Perfect. Yes, yes, yes. So she made double that, so 30x, and she started with 50. So now I'm just solving from here. So oh no, just kidding. LOL. Miss Patterson, read the problem. We're not solving anything, guys. We are writing an inequality. So it said that William would have to make greater than or equal to the amount of Sharice. So I know this is the inequalities, the greater than, greater than, equal to, less than or equal to, gets kind of confusing. So if it says William's making greater than or equal to Sharice, that means the bigger part of the inequality sign should be facing William. And then equal to, I put the line underneath. If Sharice's equation was on this side, and William's equation was on this side, it would look like this instead. The bigger part is still facing William, so that's telling you William is greater than or equal to Sharice. Are there any questions about the inequalities? I know those can be super confusing. Move in. All right, so we're gonna find the slope and y-intercept of this table. I don't know if I mentioned this in previous classes, but what is the rate of change? Rate of change is the same thing as slope. So if you need to write that in your notes, rate of change and slope are the same thing. These are synonymous. And then we need to find our y-intercept. So we need to find our m and we need to find our b. So we're going to find our slope and y-intercept of this table. So we're going to do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I want you to notice on this table all these negatives and these decimals. Okay, give me the All right, my bad, guys. My sweet baby wanted to play with me, so I had to put him back downstairs. All right, so we need to find our slope. Now, I don't like negatives and I don't like decimals. If I can find whole numbers, I'd rather use those. So I know I told you, sorry, I just ran up the stairs. I'm out of breath. Okay, I know I told you that we could use the first x and y and the second x and y, and we can. But if I have a choice to use positive whole numbers, I'd rather use that. So for me, if you already started, that's fine. For me, I'm going to use x1 as 0, which would make 2y1. And 2 is going to be x2. And 3 is going to be y2. So I'm going to use these couple and this couple of ordered pairs to do my slope. So, like I said, if you use different ones, it's fine. You'll get the same exact answer. So y2 minus y1, 3 minus 2. x2 minus x1, 2 minus 0. And when I do that, 3 minus 2 will give me 1. 2 minus 0 will give me 2. Here's my slope. So if you use other numbers, I hope you got that as well, okay? But I like to make it easier on myself. So that's why I choose not to use the negatives and decimals. But we have a calculator, so either way, we can get the right answer. So now I need to find my y-intercept. Y equals mx plus b. Technically, this table already shows you the y-intercept because when x is 0, that y value tells you your y-intercept. But a lot of people don't realize that, right? If I plotted the point 0, 2, 0, 2 is on the y-axis. So that is my y-intercept. But we're going to go ahead and solve for it anyways, okay? So to solve for it, I need to choose a point. So I'm going to choose this point right here, 2, 3. And we're gonna plug this point into our equation, and we're gonna plug the slope into our equation. So the y value is 3. My m, my slope, my rate of change is 1/2. My x value is 2. And we're trying to solve for b, so plus b. So 3 equals 1/2 times 2 plus b, so I'm gonna do this 1/2 times 2. 1/2 times 2 will give me 1. So I have 3 equals 1 plus b. I'm almost there. So I did get rid of this positive 1, so I'm gonna subtract 1 from both sides, and that'll give me 2 equals b. And there's my y-intercept. So my equation would be y equals 1/2 x plus 2. And just a reminder, if it was written like this, y equals 2 plus 1/2 x, that's the same thing. 2 still is your y-intercept because 2 by itself. 1/2 is still your slope because that's multiplied to the x. So just because I switched them doesn't make it wrong, okay? So this is just a flipped version of this. Okay, we're almost there. We're almost done. 100 for the day, major grade. All right, 2 students are graphing lines in math class. The graph below shows Marissa's line. Andrea wants to graph a line with a slope that is twice the slope of Marissa's line. What should the slope of Andrea's line be? Well, before we start talking about Andrea, let's look at Marissa's graph. I want to find the slope of Marissa's graph. At this point, after doing like 4 days of slope with graphs, I hope we feel confident, but if not, it's okay. I highly suggest you do the extra credit then. So I want everyone to find the slope and type it in the chat to me. Find the slope of Marissa's line. You got this, you got this. Just remember it's rise over run. Rise over run. My change in y over my change in x. Just 15 more seconds. You got this, you got this. Ten more seconds, 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job, guys. So majority of y'all got it. If you didn't, that's okay. Just pay attention here. So I know to find the slope, I do rise over run. So I choose 2 points on my line, and I'm rising. I'm trying to figure out how much I'm rising over how much I'm running. So I'm rising, I'm going up 1, and I'm running 2. So my rise over run is 1 over 2. Good job, guys. So then the answer to this question is Andrea wants to graph a line with a slope that is twice the slope of Marissa's line. So Andrea's line will have a slope of 1. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, question 8, y'all are gonna do on your own. My biggest suggestion is look at the scale. The y-axis is not going by ones. This is not going by ones. The x-axis is going by 1, but not the y. So pay attention to that. Go ahead and put your answer in the chat when you get it. Private chat me, private chat me. You got this, you got this. Come on, come on. All right, awesome. So my biggest suggestion, just make sure you reduce it all the way. So I did all of these to show you it doesn't matter what your right triangle looks like, it'll give you the same slope. So this is going by 2.5, so 2.55, and this is going by 1, so 1, 2. So 5 over 2 will give me 2.5. This is going by 2.5, so 2.5 over 1. So this one's 2.5 over 1, which is just 2.5. And this one, 2.55, 7.5. And then 1, 2, 3, 7.5 over 3 is also just 2.5. So no matter where your right triangle is, it should give you the same slope of 2.5. Your rise over run. Good job, guys. And this slope is positive. It's going up from left to right. Good. All right, question 9. You got this one on your own. Go ahead and go for it. Put the answer in the chat once you get it. I'm going to pause the recording. Good job, everyone in the chat. All right, for meter spectra time, I'm gonna keep going. So Jenny, I need to write an equation for Jenny. Jenny's equation would be 10x plus 80, because she got $10 each time she babysits. $80, that's how much she started with. So that tells me my slope and y-intercept. Addison's equation will be 12x plus 70, because 12 is my slope, and she saved $70, so this is how much she started with. So solving, I personally, this is the way I did it. I'm gonna subtract 10x from both sides. That'll give me 80 equals 2x plus 70. I would subtract 70 from both sides, getting rid of my constant. That would give me 10 equals 2x. And then I would divide by the coefficient, and you should get x equals 5. Yay, so if you got that right, mentally high five yourself. Yeah, all right. Almost done. So this is the last question I'm gonna do with you. And the very last question, you got it. All right, points A, B, and C are all on the same line. Okay, A, B, and C. Given A is at -2, 3, so A is at -2, 3. B is at 6, 5. And C, X, Y. Okay, so they didn't give us that information. Which of the following expressions can be used to find the slope of the line AC? So we're looking for the slope, but this doesn't have grid lines and stuff like that. So I can't like, oh, it's rising this much, running this much. Instead, it gave me 2 points. It gave me the points -2, 3, and it gave me the, so this is A, and it gave me the points 6, 5. Well, I know usually we do rise over run, but didn't we have another slope formula we can use? Right? Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X1. So we can use that instead. So here's an ordered pair, X and Y. So I'm gonna say this is X1, Y1. Second order pair, I'm gonna say it's X2. So now it's all just about putting in our slope formula. So Y2 minus Y1 would be 5 minus 3 over X2 minus X1, 6 minus negative 2. And I believe that's an answer choice on your thing. All right. So we just used our slope formula instead of doing rise over run. So if this makes you more comfortable, you can always do this instead. On the last question, my only suggestion is this W is confusing a lot of people because they're like, well, what does this W mean? It means 1W. So you can put the 1 in there if it makes you feel more comfortable to solve this problem. And if you don't like the W, if that's confusing you, then just replace it with X, okay? But you're just solving for the variable.